Hello, television family. We are back at it here on this Tuesday, 12th day of July, 2022. I am Dan Kuntz. Not a cloud in the sky, a drop-dead gorgeous morning, 66 degrees here in the big city. At 3:30 this morning when I got up, it was 70. So we've cooled down just a little bit, but it's going to be a hot one. Warmest day of the year so far. We'll be in the upper 90s today. Some people within our viewing area will see triple digits. And we gradually cool down a little bit. However, looks like it might be a little windy on Wednesday afternoon in some locations, and that's the last thing we need. Bone dry conditions, hot temperatures, and wind is a bad mix. Forecast details are on the way. We have lots to touch on in the world of news. Busy day in the newsroom. We'll get you the information you need to start your day. We'll talk a little baseball. Apple Sox have a couple of non-league gamers against a very unique team. We'll talk about that when we get to sports. Of course, the Mariners didn't play yesterday. They're in our nation's capital for a couple of games against the Nationals today and tomorrow. Then they wrap up the pre-All-Star game festivities with a 4-game set in Texas against the Rangers in the All-Star break next week. And in the back half of the program, Mike Maddog, before he did Street Talk and other stuff yesterday, sat down with me. Mike has been a long-time member and associate of Music Theater of Wenatchee. As you know by now, when the PUD moves out of their current downtown locations to their new campus out there in Old Station, they're going to dispatch with the old campus, and they are going out and figuring out what they want to do with it. But Music Theater of Wenatchee owns the Riverfront Playhouse, which is in that footprint. They own the building, they just don't own the parking lot. They're trying to work out a deal with the PUD to maybe acquire some of that land so they don't have to worry about losing their parking when the deal comes through. Mike Magnoti will talk about that in the back half of the program. Let's start our tour around north central Washington with our cameras. And again, I don't see a cloud anywhere. It is beautiful, but look how high the Columbia still is. In fact, this morning I looked at what the current cubic feet per second runoff is on both the Antioch River at Ardenvor and the Wenatchee River at Monitor, and it's still running about twice as fast as it normally does for this time of the year. That's crazy stuff. Good morning to the Valley. Sunrise this morning, 5:17. Sunset tonight, 8:56. 15 hours and 39 minutes of daylight. We were almost at the 16-hour mark of daylight for the first few days of summer. Then gradually, by about 30 seconds a day, we're getting just a little bit shorter and a little bit shorter, but it's still summertime. Camera 2. Well, that's a cool view. I don't know, Nanapoc Ridge camera? I'm just guessing, but so we say hello to the greater Lake Wenatchee area. A couple of patches of snow way up at the top. It's taken a long time for the snow to melt in the upper elevations with the cool, wet spring. And, of course, they had snow in the mountains in April and in early May, for that matter. Beautiful view. Good morning to our friends at Lake Wenatchee. It's good to see you. Camera 3. McNeil Canyon and Lake Chelan chimes in. Good morning to the lake. To your left is the Chelan Butte. We have a couple of cameras on that. To your right would be Union Valley. We have some cameras there. We have cameras at Greens Knob. We have cameras at the Bear Mountain Golf Course. We have cameras in Manson, and we have them all over the Chelan Valley. Good morning to Lake Chelan. Chelan proper is tucked behind that big ridge that you see there. That's on top of McNeil Canyon. Super tall tower up there, quite high. And camera 4. We wrap up our tour with Jump Off Ridge. Good morning, Jump Off Ridge. You can see the backside of Wenatchee Heights. And look, it's just beautiful. And look at the background, way off in the distance, the Cascades with some snow up there. Beautiful area that we live in. I think it's one of the reasons people keep moving here is that it's just gorgeous. It's a beautiful area. If you like to do outdoor activities, we got it all. Thank you to the Columbia River. You ever think about that? If it wasn't for the Columbia River, we probably wouldn't be here. That's a pretty accurate guess. So it's going to be hot today, but not record-breaking heat. Going to be plenty warm for most people. As you can see, our forecast high today of 97. Our normal high is 87. Well, we're not going to get that 104-degree mark that we set back in 2002, 20 years ago. That's not going to be the case. Everybody's going to be in the 90s. Moses Lake, you're going to get awfully close to 100. And the Tri-Cities actually has a heat advisory. They're going to be about 103 and 104 in Pasco, Richland, and Kennewick, but not so much here. Keeping a very close eye on Wednesday. Things are going to get a little breezy, and with the very dry conditions, elevated fire concerns, especially in the lower Columbia Basin and in the lee of the Cascades. So here in the Wenatchee Valley, we're going to have a little bit of wind. Not going to get away from that, but the real wind is going to be out there in Grant and Adams County and out in the Columbia Basin. And of course, as these grasses begin to dry out with all of the warm weather, and then you factor in relative humidity, very, very dry, windy conditions, hot temperatures, that's a bad mix. If any kind of fire gets going, it could really take off, especially tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Keep your fingers crossed on that. We don't want to have to cover wildfires if we can avoid it at all. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Sunny and hot, warmest day of the year, 97. Our high today, and again, a couple places are going to be near triple digits. I'm also talking about you up north in Omak. You're prone to be a couple of degrees warmer here than the Wenatchee Valley. 66 for the overnight low tonight. Wednesday, cooler, couple of passing clouds, so some weak shortwave systems are going to come in, but they're not really packing a great deal of punch. It is going to cool us down a little bit, and unfortunately, it's going to pick up the wind a little bit. We'll have a pretty consistent wind, northwest wind at about 10 miles an hour. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, it's going to be windier up in the Waterville Plateau and out in the Columbia Basin Wednesday night, and really spilling into Thursday. Then we warm right back up again, back up to 96 on Friday. Going to be a warm one at the ballpark on Friday night. Our cameras will be there to cover Apple Sox baseball on Friday night. I think we'll be wearing shorts and T-shirts. We continue with the sunny and warm weather Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. As we cool down a little bit, our normal high this time of the year is 87. So for the most part, temperatures above normal. It is mid-July. No surprise there. All right. 7 minutes after the hour. What made news on Monday? And some even this morning. We'll let you know in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. We can just lifetime warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
The warm-up has begun. 67 degrees. Will be 30 degrees warmer than that by the time we get to the peak afternoon heat hours. We'll top off at 97. We cool down a little bit of wind on Wednesday, and then the warming trend ticks back up towards the weekend. It's about 9 minutes after the hour. We have an update on that story that we that we followed for you yesterday during the news. A man involved in that shootout with law enforcement officers near the airport outside Moses Lake Sunday afternoon suffered a gunshot wound to his shoulder. Now, no officers were injured in this incident. The Central Basin Investigative Team is looking into the officer-involved shooting. Quincy Police Captain Ryan Green said Grant County Sheriff's deputies were assisting bail enforcement agents in arresting 42-year-old Robert Gwynn on felony warrants at a home in the 8000 block of Stratford Road. That's when Gwynn fired a handgun at the deputies. At least one deputy returned fire. Gwynn reportedly then fled across a field in a stolen vehicle before emerging on Road 7, where he led law enforcement on a pursuit until a Moses Lake police officer delivered a pit maneuver just east of Road K Northeast. The vehicle rolled, and Gwynn was given medical treatment for his gunshot wound by law enforcement before he was transported to Samaritan Hospital in Moses Lake. That's where he still is. All law enforcement personnel involved have been placed on paid administrative leave during the investigation. Staying out in the Columbia Basin, a 54-year-old man was arrested on child trafficking charges outside of Moses Lake Motel. This happened Friday after he allegedly talked on social media about molesting a 4.5-year-old child and made an offer to meet up with other men so they could molest the child together. Stephen Hoszu reportedly told the men he also had access to another child. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said detectives confirmed Hoszu does have contact with children the ages he described. Hoszu was arrested outside the Motel Oasis by Moses Lake Major Crimes detectives who obtained a warrant to search his room. They reported finding evidence of conversations Hoszu had with a Spokane man about kidnapping, raping, and killing young girls. The Sheriff's Office said additional evidence seized in the search is being analyzed. East Wenatchee police say felony theft charges could be in the works after a suspected bike thief showed up with the stolen bikes at the same place where they'd been taken several days prior. Police said the bikes, valued at about $1,600, were taken Wednesday from outside Grant Food and Fuel on Grant Road in East Wenatchee. Well, on Saturday, Officer Ty Sheets was doing extra patrols at the store and reported seeing the bikes described by the victims strapped to the back of a vehicle. Police said the bikes were recovered and the owner of the vehicle faces theft charges. Cashmere's Country Boys Barbecue restaurant closed its doors for the final time. On Saturday, ownership saying staffing issues contributed to their decision to retire and close the business after 18 years. Tom and Anitra Dew announced the closure of the restaurant on Applets Way on social media on Monday. They thanked their customers, their staff, and the community. They also added that they would be refunding Country Boys gift certificates until the last day of August. Harmful algae blooms has been a consistent problem in Moses Lake. The toxic blooms that occur when the weather gets warm makes the water unsafe for everybody, animals and people. Congressman Dan Newhouse says an agriculture appropriations bill that's coming down the pike would include more than $3 million for the Grant County Conservation District to address this issue. Now, if the bill passes Congress with the money intact, it would provide $3.1 million for the Moses Lake project. The work would aim to reduce the phosphorus that enters the creek and that feeds the algae blooms by a factor of 2,000 pounds every year. Every 5 years, the Farm Bill goes up for renewal. The government reauthorizing the Farm Bill. Again, it happens every 5 years. The Farm Bill governs everything from grain subsidies to food stamp assistance. The current bill expires in 2023. Congress is already mapping out a new version. The House Agricultural Committee is holding a listening session on July 22nd in the town of Carnation for growers to give their input. 8th District Congresswoman Kim Schreier is on that committee. She says the new Farm Bill must keep Northwest priorities in the spotlight.
The Farm Bill is tremendous. This sets policy for 5 years for the country, for agriculture, for research, for everything. And it can help direct funding, which is a way of, really emphasizing where our values are. And if our values are on things like supporting specialty crop farmers, then we need to make sure we have abundant funding for research. If we want to preserve family farms, then we have to invest in family farms and give them assurances. If we want our ranchers to do well, including small and medium-sized ranchers, we need local processors. These are the kinds of things that we're going to bring into the Farm Bill, including conservation programs that are so important for the farmers themselves, but also for the environment, for salmon habitat, and the rest. So we're going to be really thoughtful, and we're having this roundtable in Carnation, July 22nd, to get the farmers at the table to help craft this bill. This should not just happen in Washington, D.C. It's got to happen here. You know, I'm the only member of the Agriculture Committee from the Northwest. I'm the only one. And so I need to squeak really loudly to make sure that in committee they're paying attention to specialty crops, they're paying attention to orchardists, they're paying attention to research at Washington State University, partnering with federal USDA researchers. And so I continue to be the squeaky wheel going to bat for our farmers to make sure that their best interests, whether that's in research facilities, or just conservation programs, that those are top of mind when we do the Farm Bill.
The latest real estate figures just released for the Wenatchee Valley show a $77,000 increase in the median price of a home in June of this year compared to June of last year. That's according to the Pacific Appraisal Associates. The median price for a home in the Valley last month, $502,000. That's up from $425,000 a year ago. That's an 18% increase. Total home sales in June down 12% compared to June of last year. 84 sales were registered last month. There were 95 sales in June of 2021. Active listings way up last month, though, compared to last year. 157 active listings in the month of June of this year compared to only 30 active listings in June of last year. That's a 423% increase. The Wenatchee real estate market includes Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Malaga, Orondo, and Rock Island. And the Wenatchee Downtown Association is showing off some of their downtown buildings with spaces available to rent, lease, or buy. It's their annual Downtown Possibilities Tour. It'll be held on July 27th. The tour starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the Halbert Building in downtown Wenatchee and has 9 stops. The final stop will be the newly renovated Wenatchee City Hall, right across the street from our studios. No registration is required, but you're going to be walking, so wear a good pair of shoes. Some of the buildings on the tour are for sale. Some have been recently remodeled. Others are in the remodeling process. And by the way, Linda Hagland, the executive director of the Wenatchee Downtown Association, will be my guest on tomorrow's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. You're in the loop at 16 minutes after the hour. The news will come your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television. You can also watch it on our Facebook page and on our homepage at ncwlife.com. And with the preview, the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, get ready for temperatures in the 90s the rest of the week with a slight cool down by the weekend. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has the latest on the Apple Sox as well as the Red Hot Mariners as they begin a series this afternoon against the Nationals. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. And if you have a news tip, we'd love to hear from you. You can use our Facebook page. You can use our home page. You can use our email address. You can use our telephone number. If you have access to the internet or a telephone, you can get a hold of us. Just look at the bottom of your screen. When we come back, hey, we have a national champion in the world of youth soccer. I kid you not. We'll talk about that in sports. 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Had a surgery? Been in a car accident? Suffer from weekend warrior activities? Let Mount Stewart Physical Therapy and Chiropractic work out your aches and pains. This is Dr. Wayne Latimer. We've extended our multi-care practice to Mount Stewart Physical Therapy in Leavenworth. So, physical therapy and chiropractic. And whether you want to lift to get fit or you want to stay fit after your physical therapy, Balance Point Health and Fitness Gym is always open daily. Dr. Latimer Chiropractic Multi-Care Clinics, where we strive to do more, so you can too.
"19 minutes after the hour, we have a national champion right here. From the Wenatchee Valley, the Wenatchee FC B05 team. That means players born in 2005. They defeated Steel United California 5-1 to win the Under-17 National Championship. Thanks to Matt Wisen for sending us the video of the post-game celebration. That's cool. They finished, Wenatchee FC finished an undefeated season at the Washington Premier League season, at the NPL West playoffs, and then again, as we just mentioned, at the finals. That's a combined 16-0-2. By the way, Wenatchee FC B03 and the B08 teams, by the way, will compete for the national championships in Colorado next week. The Wenatchee Apple Sox step out of league action for only the second time this season. The Dub C Fish Sticks are coming to town. Yeah, the Dub C Fish Sticks. They used to be the Highline Bears. You remember them? Apparently, a fan vote on the name change had the Dub C Fish Sticks narrowly defeating the Seal Slingers. The team plays in the stadium in Burien they refer to as the Friar, and they feature a fish stick mascot named Crispy. They like to have a little fun at their ballpark. Besides playing summer collegiate baseball, fans participate in the fish toss. Batters warm up with a fish stick bat, and fans battling in the Emerald Downs pony hop.
There's one on each side. I'm not sure if that one counts yet or not. Even push it down in there. 2, 3 on this side. Almost there. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Get set, go! Hop away, Ezra with an early lead. Crispy, oh, that's dirty, Crispy. Dirty. Ezra struggling a bit, but has the big lead right now. Here comes Crispy coming up. Oh, Ezra bites the dust. Everybody has a chance now. Crispy sees an opening, but he bites it. And Ezra is our winner. Good, Crispy.
That last part was a homage, if you will, to the relief pitcher for the Angels who threw sunflower seeds onto the field after that big Angels-Mariners brawl of about a month ago. What will happen tonight at the ballpark? You have to show up to see the Fish Sticks and the Apple Sox. Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, first pitch, 6:35. Just one game of the West Coast League last night. Yakima Valley shut out Kamloops, 3-0. Tyler Frieders pitched 8 innings, a 4-hit shutout ball to earn his 4th win of the year for the Pippins. Shane Simpson did the damage at the plate for Yakima Valley, 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI. The schedule, it's a lot. Everybody's playing. It looks like Corvallis visits Edmonton at 6:35. You got Bellingham at Ridgefield, Walla Walla hosting Bend. Victoria visits Nanaimo. Port Angeles welcomes Kelowna. Kamloops plays again in Yakima. Springfield takes on Portland. Cowlitz will host the Northwest Star Academy in a non-league game. Mariners hope to continue as one of the hottest teams in baseball. They're in our nation's capital. They have an 8-game winning streak. Nationals Park, the scene. They'll take on Washington, 4:05 this afternoon. Chris Flexen will start for the Mariners against the Nationals' Josiah Gray. You can watch the action on Root Sports Northwest. To the Les Schwab scoreboard, a 6-run 8th inning wasn't enough for Oakland. The A's fell at Texas, 10-8. Corey Seager and Josh Smith each homered for the Rangers, while Leodoti Taveras went 3 for 4 with 2 runs and 3 RBIs. Houston's lead heading into tonight's game, 12 games over the second-place Mariners, 15.5 in front of the Rangers. And for your moment of youth springs eternal, 42-year-old Albert Pujols just keeps hitting baseballs.
First pitch. And Pujols hits it down the right field line. It's slicing. It is off the top of the wall. Albert digging for 2. 3rd all-time in extra base hits in Major League history. A double off the wall in right. 1,378 extra base hits. He passes Stan the Man, 3rd all-time in Major League history.
Very impressive. He's in his 22nd year of playing Major League Baseball. He has 3,324 career hits. He has 683 home runs, 2,127 RBIs, and he's going to be in the All-Star game. He was a legacy pick. He's also going to be the oldest player ever to participate in the Home Run Derby. Keep going, Albert. Don't hang him up yet, buddy. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On this Tuesday, 24 minutes after the hour, there were 5 obscure holidays for me to choose from today. On this 12th day of July, today is Eat Your Jell-O Day. Not a problem with me. It's Paper Bag Day. It's National Pecan Pie Day. I love a good pecan pie. It's National Simplicity Day, but no. Today we're going to celebrate National Different Colored Eyes Day. There are 3 celebrities right there who all have heterochromia. That means you have either more than one color in your eyes or you have 2 eyes who have different colors. It's a very rare condition. It's strictly hereditary for the most part. An eye injury or a tumor can affect it and give you that, but for the vast majority of the people who have heterochromia, it is inherited. It's extremely rare. Only less than 200,000 people in this country have that condition, but ironically enough, a lot of very famous people do, including the three people you see pictured there. Kate Bosworth has it, Jane Seymour has it, Max Scherzer, the great pitcher for the Nationals, have it, Dan Aykroyd has it, Joe Pesci has it, Kiefer Sutherland has it. Different Colored Eyes Day today. Go out and celebrate it with somebody who has it with you. How do you celebrate that? 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, John, Paul, and George have been playing together for quite some time, but of course when you play together in a band, you don't really know what you sound like, as opposed to just sitting there in a room and playing yourself on a tape machine or a record without actually playing the instruments. They wanted to know what they sounded like. And so on this date, July 12th, 1958, the Quarrymen, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, Colin Hanton on drums, and Duff Lowe on piano recorded two songs produced by Percy Phillips at his recording studio / living room in Liverpool. They recorded an original song, In Spite of All the Danger, and they recorded the one song that they knew down pat, Buddy Holly's That'll Be the Day. One 10-inch, 78 RPM shellac was pressed from the master tape, at which point Percy Phillips erased the tape to use again. Oops, Percy. Probably wish you hadn't done that. One copy of the record. The Beatles pooled their money to pay for it, and they decided everybody would own the record for a week. So John owned the record for a week, and then he gave it to Paul, who owned it for a week, who gave it to George, who owned it for a week. George gave it to Colin, who owned it for a week. Colin gave it to Duff, who owned it for the next 23 years. He kept it in the bottom of his sock drawer at his bedroom in Liverpool for 23 years. And finally, in early 1981, he decided to have the record appraised. Who knows what it was, the very first record ever made by the Beatles, or what would become the Beatles. And there's only one copy. Eventually, Paul McCartney bought the record from Duff for an undisclosed amount in February of 1981. Paul McCartney has the only known copy, known or otherwise, of that record, That'll Be the Day, the first record ever recorded by the Beatles. What's that worth now? Happened 64 years ago today. July 12, 1973, 49 years ago today, that's not supposed to happen. A fire destroys the entire 6th floor of the National Personnel Records Center of the United States in Overland, Missouri, which was a suburb of St. Louis. They built the building in the mid-1950s. There was a big controversy when they built it. We're going to store all the military records in one location in this big building in St. Louis. They built it in 1956, but the archivists, the people who were in charge of keeping all of these military records, said, we really can't have a sprinkler system, because if the sprinkler system goes off automatically, it's going to ruin all these records. So they built the building without a sprinkler system, without a heat sensor to censor fire, without smoke alarms, and without firewalls. So it was bound to happen. 16 to 18 million permanent military records were destroyed. The fire burned for 4 days. The cause of the fire was never determined. That's a lot of military records gone for good. And finally, 43 years ago today, Comiskey Park, Chicago, Disco Demolition Night. July 12th, 1979. It did not go well. Here's a contemporary news report.
Hailed as Disco Demolition Night, and thousands of the rock DJ's followers swarmed into the ballpark. By 7:30, there were already signs of impending trouble. The doubleheader was sold out, standing room only. Some 12,000 baseball and rock music fans, most of them teenagers, were turned away, and many of them didn't like that. It was a standoff between the fans trying to get into the ballpark and security people trying to keep them out. By the time the gates were finally shut, the first ball game was over, and attention was turned to the star attraction of the evening. Steve Dahl, the self-proclaimed leader of the so-called anti-disco army, proceeded with the featured event, the Disco Demolition. Except for some sporadic fireworks and the chanting of anti-disco slogans, up until then, the crowd was relatively under control. But just after Dahl left the field, a few youngsters jumped onto it. More and more followed. Soon, there was chaos. Records flew like frisbees, more fireworks exploded, bottles were thrown, and an estimated 7,000 spectators staged their very own demolition. 4 fans were injured during the melee, 40 others arrested.
Yep, for 98 cents, and if you brought a disco record with you, you got in for 98 cents. They had the big bin outside the Comiskey Park, but the bin filled up with disco records very quickly, and so everybody else brought their disco records with them and just tossed them around the ballpark. Eventually, during the melee, which lasted about 45 minutes, the fans stole all the bases. They tore down the batting cage. They stole a home plate. They set fires. About an hour later, it was twilight doubleheader. This was between 2 games. The umpires and the players went out on the field. The umpires declared the field unplayable. The next day, the American League forced the White Sox to forfeit the second game of the doubleheader, which was never played. That and 10-cent beer night, not one of the better promotions. They didn't think that one all the way through. Birthdays. Julius Caesar, Julius Caesar, he was the dictator, and then he started doing all of these reforms, and, well, the upper crust of ancient Rome didn't like that. They had to take care of this little problem, so the Ides of March. But Julius Caesar, who invented a calendar, he just did it by decree. We don't use it anymore. Julius Caesar, born in 100 BC. By the way, that mask is the only known sculpture made of Julius Caesar while he was actually alive. So that's about as close as we know that he looked like. He was assassinated at the age of 55 in 44 BC. George Eastman, the man who brought photography to the masses. It's one thing to get into the camera wars because, hey, cameras don't work without film. So he came up with the idea of rolls of film and, of course, the Kodak camera. But the big thing was the film, and he was a rather astute businessman by providing quality and affordable film to everybody. All the camera manufacturers had to manufacture their cameras to work with Kodak film. Smart move, George. He made $1 bazillion, and then he gave it all away. George Eastman, born in this state in 1854, of course, the founder of Eastman Kodak. Christine McVie, 79 years old today, in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, keyboardist with Fleetwood Mac. Of course, she left the group for a long time, from 1998 to 2014. She wasn't even in Fleetwood Mac, and now she plays with them occasionally. Happy 79th to Christine McVie. We're going to take a break. When we get a double dose of Mike Maddog Magnoti, gee, you think just an opinion would be enough, but no, we got more than that. Mike Magnoti's opinion is coming up, and then Mike's going to talk about Music Theater Wenatchee and Riverside Playhouse. They would very much like to buy a little piece of property from the Chelan County PUD before private entities scoop up and buy the PUD's downtown Wenatchee property. Mike will explain the quandary when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Welcome to Click It RV. How can I help you?
We're looking to trade in our tent for a new RV.
Perfect. Let's take a look. Water heater? Nope. Does it have a queen bed? No. Does it have a bathroom? No. How about air conditioning? Nope. Well, you're in luck. We have the perfect solution for you. We'll give you $1,000 for it.
What?
What?
That's right. At Click It RV in July, trade your tent in for an extra $1,000 towards your RV purchase. Come see us today.
Hi, I'm Chuck Dronan, Managing Member at Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living. It's been a tough year for all of us, but especially for those working and living in senior care facilities. Over the course of these many difficult months, our staff at Epladolin has been vigilant in adhering to federal and state guidelines to protect and assure the safety of our residents and their caregivers. If you're in need of assisted living for a loved one, give us a call at Epladolin. We're here for you.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by.
Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
Wenatchee Apple Sox Baseball is on the NCW Life Channel. Coverage is brought to you by AmeriCorps, Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, Apple Valley Honda, Bob's Burgers and Brew, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, JDSA Law, Mini Blinds, and more. That Pizza Place in Cashmere, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. It's Apple Sox Baseball, live on your local TV station, the NCW Life Channel.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because then it came back. Both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, when you're really passionate about something, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth. They're always so shocked. Like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
Soak in the savings at Boswell's. Right now, get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 you spend on any qualifying stressless seating. Don't miss the perfect opportunity to fill your home with the world's most comfortable seating for less. It's time for Stressless, proud to be endorsed by the American Chiropractic Association. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Hey, this is Mike Maddog Magnoti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I've got a couple of Marxist friends on Facebook. Well, maybe they're actual commies, I don't know. But, they've been posting stuff about how Russia's President Putin really is a good guy, and it's America's fault that Ukraine was invaded, yada, yada. Maybe these people have a point or two, but this attitude is just an example of how we ourselves react. If you like a politician, you're going to support everything he or she does, even if it's something stupid. I mean, look, you can like Putin all you want, but if you deny that the guy's committing war crimes, you're just eroding your own integrity. And you might like Biden or you might like Trump, but if they do something dumb, don't try to tell us that it isn't. Sheesh. Oh, gosh. This is Mike Maddog Magnoti, and that's my opinion.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
You've got a lot to do today. While you're out and about, remember to dispose of your unused medications safely and anonymously. It's a simple act that makes your home a safer place. Next time you're at the pharmacy, just place them in the drop box. To find a location, visit medproject.org.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Bob's Burgers and Brews in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy great food, great service, and a great time. Only the best for our guests. We look forward to serving you. Stop on by today.
The NCW Life Channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCW Life Channel today.
For more than 56 years, Crown Furniture and Mattress has been serving North Central Washington with the same principles we were founded on, offering the best quality, great value, incredible comfort, honesty, integrity, and of course, made in the USA. Because so much of our inventory is made in America, it has alleviated a lot of the shortages companies are experiencing nationwide. We are overstocked and ready to deliver. So stop by and see us today or visit us online at www.crownfurnitureandmattress.com.
This is the NCW Live concert calendar. Fridays, it's live music at Alta Cellars in downtown Manson from 4 to 7 p.m. Sunday, it's Succession Winery located between Chelan and Manson with live music from 2 to 5. Chelan Cellars and Sorrento's Restaurante present music on Mondays at 4 p.m. weekly. Check the individual websites for more information. That's the NCW Live concert calendar.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Unless you've been living under a rock for the last couple of years, you know the Chelan County PUD is building their brand new headquarters out there in Old Station. They'll be leaving their headquarters in downtown Wenatchee when they move out. It's a primo piece of real estate. The Regional Port Authority of Chelan and Douglas County is taking the lead agency in getting this property developed once the PUD exits. They went from 5 proposals. They've narrowed it down to 2. But in all of this that's going on, a few things may have slid underneath the radar of the Chelan County PUD commissioners.
They couldn't have slid underneath the radar. We have been, and again, I get passionate about this kind of thing. I'm not angry with anyone. I love everybody. But we've been mentioning this for quite some time. Riverside Playhouse has been, I don't even remember how long it's been there. I directed the first show there many, many years ago. I was still a police officer. It is an excellent theater. It is second only in entertainment venues in this locale to the Performing Arts Center. And frankly, for many of us, the Riverside Playhouse is the venue for the performing arts. And we need the parking. I mean, we've been in a very, very cooperative relationship with the PUD for many years, ever since we've been there. They've been very cooperative with us. We've worked stuff out. But if the building and that complex is sold and our parking isn't taken into consideration, we are going to be in dire straits.
It's you own your portion of the Music Theater Wenatchee, I should say, owns that portion of that building. You own it lock, stock, and barrel.
Yeah.
The PUD owns the other chunk of that building,
right,
and they own all the parking lots. So basically, you have a theater, but the PUD has been good.
Oh, they've been great.
To letting you
it's
use
been
their
an excellent relationship. You know?
But now, in the not too distant future, the PUD is not going to own any of that. It's going to belong to somebody else.
And we have offered to buy the portion of the Fish and Wildlife building there and the portion of the parking lot. I mean, we've made a fair offer. You know, we're not asking for anything for nothing, but let's face it, that Playhouse is an integral, very important part of our live theater community here in town. I mean, Music Theater Wenatchee, I've been a member for almost 40 years. My wife's grandmother was the women's musical group that she started. She was one of the founders that morphed into music theater. I mean, it's been around 60, almost 70 years now.
Something like that, yeah. Late 50s, I want to say, early 60s.
You know, and it's just, I performed there many times. Both my children, my son and daughter, have performed there. My son-in-law has performed there, and now even my granddaughter's performing there in Short Shakespearean. She was in the last Short Shakespearean show, and she's in the upcoming one. I mean, it is a vital part of our live theater community, and we need to have parking. Now, there has been a suggestion, and this is just, I understand where this is coming from, is that we do have parking on the south side of the building, the city parking lot. But in all honesty, that's not feasible. And I'm going to write to the commissioners of the PUD and invite them on behalf of Music Theater. And I'm just a member,
Right.
Like I said, I'm passionate about it. Come down and just take a look at what that would mean, because that's really not a feasible option for us. I mean, that whole outside area would have to be refurbished because it doesn't look very good. It's in a dirt alley. And this, if we let people in through that south parking lot, I mean, it goes right through all the private areas.
Backstage.
For backstage. Yep. It goes right past where the actors get ready for the show, and that green room is important.
And the main entrance is on the north side, where we have asphalt parking and lots of it, and you have a lobby.
Right, and we always do the lobby up for shows. We always do it appropriately, decorated for the particular show that goes on. And something else that hasn't been mentioned is that we do have a large shop in that area where a lot of set construction, painting, and sometimes storage goes on, and there's a big garage door there that we are going to continue to have access to that. If our only access is on the south side, it basically would close the theater.
And you want to cut a deal with the Chelan County PUD before they, in fact, get rid of the property and they're not the legal owner anymore. Then you have to deal with a whole other group of people, right?
We will do anything. We'll bend over backwards, to work with the PUD on this. And I posted something about it, and a friend of mine said, "Well, I don't believe in giving away public stuff." And we're not asking for anybody to give us anything. We're willing to pay for it. We're willing to work with anybody. This is something we need some public support for, because that theater is a jewel.
Have you seen some of the architectural renderings of what may happen to that property from the 2 finalists?
Yeah, I have.
And what is that? And how does that fit into what they have plans?
Well, one of them basically takes over the whole area.
Right.
Okay, that would totally eliminate our access to our building. And the others, frankly, I haven't studied it as much as I should. because I'm not here to comment on the positive nature of the other proposals, and I certainly, want the PUD to get the best deal possible. I mean, it's a public-owned utility, but it's a public-owned utility. Let's take the public into consideration here, and a large segment of the public loves that theater. It's just
so you own your section of the building. For those of you who don't, I'll give you a quick look. You got the radio stations that are on the avenue, and then behind that and below that against the alley is the PUD's Fish and Wildlife Department,
right.
And then adjacent to that, towards the railroad tracks, is the Riverside Playhouse, which you guys own that section of that building.
Yes.
So I guess what do you want? What do you need? Like 20 parking spots? What are you looking for?
Well, the theater, I think it holds about 120 seats.
Okay.
So maybe a 70, 80 parking space. I don't know. I haven't really stopped and counted, but within reason. Many people come down 2 at a time. I think, and again, please don't quote me and say, well, Magnoti said you only need 70 spaces. I don't really know. Okay, that'd be something. I'm not on the board. I'm just a big mouth. But, I feel really strongly about this, is that, that's a great theater. And if any of you have been down there, you know what I'm talking about. It's just a nice space. I mean, it's got great restrooms. It's got a great shop where we can do the work that we do. The lobby is really nice. It's got an excellent green room area where there's changing area, bathrooms that the actors can use. We've got a large space that's available for costume storage. Got a couple of different rooms that are available for prop storage. We probably need more furniture storage because actually we rent stuff off-site to store some of the furniture and props that we use. But right now, that parking is an issue. And we, like I say, we're willing to bend over backwards to do what's necessary to continue to have sufficient parking for that theater. So.
And you would much rather deal with the Chelan County PUD as a public entity than a private corporation that's eventually going to take over that. And
certainly.
The rules don't really apply to them in that respect.
Again, taking into consideration the public that they serve, this is a major issue, I think. And I'm not saying that the folks at the PUD aren't taken seriously. I'm sure that they are. But again, I'm going to write them an email. I'm going to probably do it sometime today. And I'm doing this publicly. I am inviting you folks to come down and take a tour of the theater. I can certainly arrange that with Jeff Heminger, who is the president of Music Theater right now, or anyone else. We'd be happy to show you, specifically what it is we're looking for. But again, to let you know that access from the south is not... It's not a viable solution. It's just simply not a viable solution.
And there's probably a right-of-way issue with the alley. I don't know who owns the alley. My guess is the city does, right? And then the city has the...
And again, I don't really think that would be the problem. But then again, you would not want to enter the theater from that.
No, you wouldn't.
From that area. No, it's...
You'd either have to enter from the south side or go around by the railroad tracks and come in the other way.
I don't think there's access to go around.
So.
I think you'd have to either tear down... the right-of-way fence or tear down some of the buildings. Matter of fact, I'm pretty positive you cannot get around.
Right.
So. So again, please, PUD, public, let them know. Riverside Playhouse is a great place. Okay, I love it down there.
What if, and I hate to say this, but what if you can't work out a deal? I mean, the PUD, being a public entity, has to say, well, you have to at least pay us the value of the property, and that's not cheap if you want to buy enough real estate for your necessary parking.
I think that we have made, I don't know all the details of this because, again, I'm not on the board, okay?
Right.
But we have made, I've been advised, a viable, fair offer for what we're looking for down there, to pay them for it, so.
What's the sense of urgency here? Is there a hard deadline where they're going to cut a deal and then
I don't really, and
you guys might be left out in the cold?
I don't know when the final deal is going to be made. I don't know when the PUD is ready to move into the new, facility. I don't know much, I don't know.
Which is why he hosts the show called Straight Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Maddog Magnoti. Well, I'm on board your team, obviously. I like to, it'd be terrible that you have this nice little theater and nobody can physically get to it. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I mean, it would be a heartbreak. It really would.
Yeah.
It really would. I don't know what we would do. So.
Anyway, well, keep the faith, my friend.
We will, and I appreciate this opportunity to, again, hey, PUD folks, come on down. I mean, take a look. Contact me. I can give you other information. I am going to send you an email. We'd love to show you the inside of the theater and what it is that we're looking for and what our parking and physical needs are. So we'd be more than happy to share with you. So.
Mike Maddog Magnoti, who hosts a show that's live every Mondays at 10, called Street Talk and Other Stuff, with various reruns throughout the course of the week. It's good to see you, my friend.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad. I wanted to get the word out in case, because my show is highly rated.
Yeah, very much appreciate NCW Life support.
Anytime, Michael. Okay. You are watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Brace yourselves. Stunning action is going round with the baddest woman on the planet coming to your town. 'Cause it's a new day with undisputed game changers, unstoppable newcomers, and unimaginable collisions.
McIntyre and Sheamus in a street fight.
WWE Sunday Stunner. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages available this Friday.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in North Central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
With all the variety on SureStream TV from LocalTel, there's always something to watch. But what if you hit the couch in the middle of all the shows? That's a perfect time to use the features Catch Up or Restart. Catch up on shows from up to 3 days ago, or restart your show from the beginning. Go to your guide and select the show to restart. Then play, pause, rewind on your schedule. Don't forget, SureStream TV from LocalTel lets you decide when shows begin.
And we are back, 68 degrees now in downtown Wenatchee. It was 70 when I got up this morning at 3:30. We cooled all the way down to about 64. Now we're starting to climb up a little bit, but the warm spot right now is Quincy. You're already at 78 degrees. Quincy, you could be triple digits. In fact, a lot of our viewing area is going to be pretty close to triple digits, especially out of the Columbia Basin. Let's take a look at this from the National Weather Service. This is our forecast high for today, our normal high for July 12th, and then our record high temperatures. You can see we're going to be warm, but we're not going to be up near that 104 from 20 years ago. Moses Lake, at this point, you could probably get triple digits, but not the 106. So everybody's going to be dealing with some warm temperatures today, but this is definitely going to be the warmest day of the forecast period. We're going to cool back down again, and unfortunately, as we cool down, we're going to have some breezy and dry conditions on Wednesday, and that means fire concerns are going, yep. It's the triple threat. It's what we don't want to see. Warm temperatures, breezy conditions, and very low relative humidity. Now, it's going to be, I would say, breezy here in the Wenatchee Valley, but it's going to be windy in parts of Douglas, Grant, and Adams counties, and they got all that grassland out there that's getting baked up by the warm temperatures, and they're going to be full of fuel. So if any kind of fire gets a toehold out there in that area, it could really get going, and then we warm right back up again. So we're going to cool down a lot on Wednesday, but it's all relative. Our normal high this time of the year is 87 degrees. So from the National Weather Service, here we go. 97 today. We can safely call that hot, and that's what we did. 66 for the overnight low tonight. Again, Wednesday here in the valley, a little breezy at times, but most of the wind is going to be relegated out to the Columbia Basin. So watch out, you folks out there, for some windy conditions, but a lot cooler. Only about 90 for our forecast high on Wednesday. Again, a little bit warmer out in the basin and windy as well. 58 for the overnight low on Wednesday, and then we climb right back up again. Into the lower 90s we go on Thursday with a little bit of residual wind still. Friday, mid-90s, 95, 96, right around there, and it's going to be warm and sunny and pleasant and perfect for the upcoming weekend. And that's it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.